Hi everyone, if you're new here, my name is Sally and I'm a mixed media artist in Australia. This is my cat Echo, and if you're not new here, welcome back. So you may remember recently that ARRTX sent me this giant box of 90 acrylic paint markers, and we made a video and did some colourful portraits with it. I have used these markers before and absolutely loved them. So when ARRTX reached out to me a second time to ask me to try the bigger set, I said yes straight away. And I love using them in my sketchbook. They're quick and easy, very opaque, great color payoff. I've always had a very good time using them. So a couple of weeks ago, ARRTX emailed me again and asked me if I would like to take part in an upcoming Easter campaign. And it's super, super exciting. I of course said yes, and that's why we're making this video, so let's go do that. Big stretch. Slide. I'll tell you what, something comes from ARRTX, they're going to pack it so securely. Look at all of that. But I'm definitely going to recycle that and use that in shop orders. Come on. Come out. Ooh, almost there. Okay, let's get rid of that. A bunny. Look at this cutie. So now it's my job to paint this little bunny. There's a little card. This is an example. Oh, it's a money box. Oh, cute. So there's a little lock. All right, so we have our little white bunny here, and our bunny is holding a carrot and he's wearing a little jacket. Cute little tail. All right, so I guess now I have to think of a design to paint on this rabbit. All right, let's do some sketches and get some ideas down. So the first thing I did was just sketch the bunny from life and sketched it in my sketchbook using a graphite pencil. And I did 3 different studies: front on, a back side view, and then a 3/4 view. So my sketches would be as accurate to life as possible. Okay, my very first thoughts, especially because this little guy's wearing a jacket, is to make this like a little rock star heavy metal bunny, because I kind of wanted to do like the corpse paint. I've had this idea for a while now that I wanted to do like vintage storybook animal art, but make them corpse paint. And I have sort of been doing a little bit of that already, and I think that this would work really, really well with that idea. I think I'm going to make this bunny have a little leather jacket with like a back patch on, do like some tattoos perhaps, and then the corpse paint. So I was so happy with this initial idea that I didn't even really bother putting down any more concepts, because I really, really like this one from the jump. And so I just sketched out some rough designs and notes on my 3 bunnies in my sketchbook, so I would have a good idea of where to start from. Because with acrylic paint markers, once they're on and you can't erase them. Although you can paint over them, these are very, very opaque. But I didn't want to go in without a clear idea about what I wanted the end result to look like. And like I've mentioned before, I have used these markers before, although I have only used them on paper in sketchbooks. So it was the first time painting a 3D object, and this particular figurine is plastic. And as you can see, the markers went on extremely well. Echo had to come along and join in, as she always does. And yeah, I got really great color payoff and opacity on this plastic, and I only really had to do one coat. I didn't have to layer up the paint at all. One thing I did try for the first time with these markers was using them in a palette and diluting them with a bit of water to get a soft wash of color. The bunny is textured, like the plastic is textured, and bunnies are so soft and fluffy. And because the bunny was going to be wearing a black leather jacket with like black metal makeup and the rest of it was going to be quite harsh, I really wanted the fur to look as soft and fluffy as possible to counteract that, and so it would be balanced. So I decided to just grab 3 different brown shades, pop them in my palette, and then used a really, really watered down paint with the brush to paint on. And I'm so glad I made this decision. I absolutely love the way it turned out because the plastic is already textured and the paint isn't a flat opaque color. I think it gave the rabbit a lot of dimension, and I'm really, really stoked with how it turned out. And then it was just a matter of popping in all the details. As I mentioned in the intro, ARRTX sent this to me as part of their Easter campaign. I'm going to have all of the information about what they have on offer in the description box down below. So please make sure you go check all that out. They've got some discount codes, they've got some prizes to win, lots of stuff. So I wanted to have that first layer down, that really soft wash of paint, and then I decided to go in and add a little bit more texture and dimension with the markers straight from the marker. Because these are a foam brush tip, they're really flexible and very, very easy to get those nice fine marks. And I took some inspiration from an artist that I've been obsessed with lately, and that is Kane Colto. And I had discovered him while scrolling through TikTok one day, and as soon as I heard his song KFC Santeria, it just grabbed me instantly. And I don't know when was the last time that something really, really grabbed me like straight away like that. And I had wanted to do the black metal corpse paint makeup, but then I had just done a sketchbook page of Kane Colto with some character studies of him and some imagery from his music video. And I'll pop that here so you can see. And so I sort of incorporated his look into the bunny. So this is sort of like if Kane Colto was a bunny going to a metal show. And it will make sense at the end. But yeah, this look, the bunny's face was very much inspired by Kane's look. So Kane Colto wears a black smudgy eye makeup, and so I used that on the rabbit using the black marker and very, very carefully traced around the eye. And as I mentioned before, the tips on these markers are so fantastic and they're so easy to use. And I was having so much fun painting this rabbit, and I really want to do more 3D figurines. I've never done anything like this before, like customized something, and now I can just envision having like a whole set of heavy metal rabbits or kittens or puppies or cute little animals like that, in addition to the paintings that I've been doing. was time to paint the jacket, and I noticed when I put the first coat on, even though these markers are very, very opaque, it wasn't fully saturated black in these large areas, but it actually worked out perfect because it looked like leather. Like this actually looks like a leather jacket. And I had consulted my very good friend B about what to put on the back patch because I wanted it to be relevant to this bunny. Like this bunny had to have a reason for having this back patch on the jacket. And there is a sludge band called Acid Bath, and one of their albums has white rabbits on the cover. So that just made the perfect choice. So I just sketched it out in a graphite pencil, which went onto the plastic bunny, no worries, and then just used the brush markers straight on to design the back patch. So it's a simplified version of the album cover, and I'll pop it here just so you can see, but I'm really, really stoked with how it turned out. And I love that the tips of these markers were so fine that it was really easy to do these small details. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my wonderful members on Ko-fi. I have 3 tiers of memberships available, and it's a really great way to support me and the channel. I have 2 tiers with physical rewards, which are 2 zines that go out every month, and one of the tiers has the 2 zines and an exclusive art print. And then the first tier starts at just $1.50 AUD a month, and that is just to say thank you. Plus you also get access to my Discord server and my endless gratitude. It really does make a difference, and it means that I can keep making the zines. I'm going to make some more zine related videos, so keep an eye out for those. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thanks again to all my amazing members. Now, I had initially thought to do gold bones because that's an idea that I've been working with in some of my paintings recently, but I kind of did the rib bones wrong, so now it's more like a piece of jewelry, but it still works. And then I wanted to give the bunny a tattoo, so I grabbed my graphite pencil again and just sketched on an outline of a rabbit skull because I thought this bunny would have a little skull tattoo. So I just redrew over the graphite with a light blue paint marker, and it wasn't standing out quite enough, so I did go over the top of it with a deeper blue, and I'm really happy with the result. So we've got a rabbit skull with a snake coming through it because it's a really cool little dude with his little jacket and cool tattoo. So here I'm going over it with the deeper blue just to make it stand out a bit more and give it a bit more contrast. As I mentioned previously, I'm so glad I made the decision to use the paint markers for the overall first layer of the fur in the way that I did, because it gives such a nice contrast to the fully opaque painted areas. And I am obsessed with how this turned out. I think it looks so, so good. I absolutely love it. Love it so much. I think the choice of the back patch was perfect. I love that I got a tattoo on there and his little corpse paint makeup. I love that it's also a little tribute to Kane Colto, who I'm really loving at the moment. And it's just got lots of elements of me in there as well. I'm really so stoked with it. And thank you, ARRTX, for sending this to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Like I said, I haven't really done anything like this before and customized something that's 3D. It was really fun, and I'd love to do more of this kind of thing. So yeah, I might be on the hunt for other cute animal figurines that I can paint. Thanks again to ARRTX for not only sending me the markers initially, but also sending this cute little guy for me to paint. I had so much fun, and the link to their Easter campaign and all the information about what they've got on offer and the prizes is linked in the description box down below. So make sure you go check that out and support this brand, because they've been so generous and kind to me, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you all for watching, and I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!